Good evening and welcome to the special edition of BPPN. Tonight we discuss the importance of extracurricular activities on adult education and how it can help overcome some of the challenges faced by adult learners in post-secondary institutions.
Universities around the globe offer countless opportunities for extracurricular engagement, as shown by the numerous social clubs and societies available to students across campuses worldwide. For example, the local University of British Columbia boasts over 400 clubs that students can choose to join.
A recent article in Forbes magazine features a survey carried out by online benefits and compensation information company called PayScale, in which 44% of some managers reported a lack of leadership qualities and 36% reported lower than needed interpersonal skills and teamwork skills in freshly graduated college students.
While universities place a great deal of emphasis on course material and learning, students sometimes get too caught up trying to be book smart that they forget developing a set of soft skills is also important. But where do these students stand to learn such skills?
In this segment, we will consult 4 adult education specialists who will discuss how and why participating in extracurricular activities might just be the solution. Our first specialist, Eliza Kish, is an expert in the field of adult learning and education. Let's see what she has to say about the importance of extracurricular activities. Over to you, Eliza.
Thanks, BP News, for having me today. The topic of adult education and participation in extracurricular activities is an interesting one. As you mentioned, students often get caught up in their schoolwork and find themselves neglecting participation outside of their books. But I think it's important to answer the question of why students have this belief that learning the course material on its own will be suffice in achieving success. To answer this question, let's start by looking at Jack Mesrow's definition of transformative learning. He states that transformative learning involves learning to think critically by questioning assumptions and expectations that shape and influence what we think and do. With that in mind, we can analyze why some students are putting all their time into their course material. In my opinion, there's an underlying assumption that success is achieved by focusing solely on course material, which influences students to sit and listen and lecture, go home to study material for hours on end, and then return to class the following day. However, is sitting in front of a textbook actually going to lead to success? Well, sure, you might gain the knowledge as stated in the course material, yet that will only get a person so far. By applying transformative learning to the student university careers, I think it is safe to say that going to class and studying the course material won't be sufficient to achieve the highest level of success. Statistics show that involvement in social clubs and organizations positively correlates to higher success in post-secondary life. It also leads to the decrease in dropout rates. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is considered student involvement? Well, Alexander Aston describes a highly involved student as one who devotes considerable energy to studying, spends much time on campus, participates actively in social student organizations, and interacts frequently with faculty members and other students. Moreover, we can look at 3 learning theories: the subject matter theory, the resource theory, and student involvement theory. The subject matter theory believes that student learning and development depends primarily on exposure to course material. The emphasis on course material leads to the proponent on this theory that student learning is achieved by attending lectures, doing the reading assignments, and working in the library. The resource theory of pedagogy tends to include the principle that high-achieving students act as a resource, where these students act as an enhancer for low-achieving students. Lastly, the student involvement theory encourages educators to focus less on what they do and more on what the students are doing. The theory argues that students need to display sufficient effort outside of their schoolwork to maximum success. To close off, if we have our transformative thinking applied, I think that the student involvement theory best explains how a student can reach optimum success in a university career. And that's all I have for tonight. Thanks, BPM News.
Thank you, Eliza, for your insight about transformative learning and different learning theories. It was interesting to see how student involvement theory explains how maximum success can be achieved through extracurricular involvement.
Next up, we'll talk to Danielle Barbeau, an expert in distant education, who will talk about some of the disadvantages of distant education courses in relation to student involvement.
Thanks for having me, BPPN. When analyzing student involvement in adult education, specifically looking at universities, it becomes apparent how important involvement really is. Today, I'm going to discuss the topic of MOOCs, which stands for Massive Open Online Courses, and how MOOCs as a whole do not benefit those who wish to receive a higher education. Although MOOCs are more accessible for those unable to financially afford post-secondary education, it isn't as beneficial for those who participate in campus life at university. Opportunities lack, as this way of learning behind a computer screen prohibits a unique kind of learning that comes with enrolling in university classes or being involved with student life as a whole. There are no opportunities for student involvement or social clubs, which are key when analyzing the benefits of transformative learning. Furthermore, skills are learned from being involved within campus. MOOCs fall under the subject matter theory, where student learning and development depends primarily on exposure to the course materials. Online classes have a strong emphasis on course material. Work, which differs as being in a classroom and attending a university, has major emphasis on engaging in clubs or groups on campus, which aids in developing skills needed for the real world. When considering the environmental factor theory described by Alexander Aston, he states that if student residents living on campus was positively related to retention, they have more time and opportunity to get involved in all aspects of campus life, better chance of developing a strong identification and attachment to the undergraduate life. The longitudinal study showed that students who join social fraternities or sororities or participate in any extracurricular activities of almost any type are less likely to drop out. Participation in sorts has a pronounced positive effect on persistence. Extracurricular activities such as intramural sports, various societies, or Greek life all offer a different, unique kind of learning experience that is not offered through MOOCs. And how being a part of something outside of classes creates a more positive environment for students, which again, MOOCs lack. Although those wishing for a higher education can't always afford it, and therefore they use MOOCs in order to educate themselves, Tony Bates analyzes MOOCs' weaknesses as used as an informal way of education that is not credited in higher learning. MOOCs have also tried to reach out to third world countries, but have failed as many people in these countries lack elementary and high school education, where adult education should not be a priority. In conclusion, the massive online courses are not beneficial as attending universities as they lack opportunities to thrive in various clubs or societies. The environmental factor theory exemplifies the benefits of student involvement in attending classes, whereas MOOCs fail to produce a well-rounded adult education experience. Thanks, that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Danielle, for sharing the importance of student involvement and the positive effect it has on persistence.
Next up, we have Jim Campbell, an expert in feminist pedagogy, and he's going to explain how the pedagogical method is practiced in an extracurricular setting and why this is so beneficial for students.
Thank you, BPPN. First off today, I'd like to begin by explaining feminist pedagogy a little bit. Now, what feminist pedagogy is an engaged form of teaching and learning which recognizes and aims to mitigate oppression while empowering people. Now, what I mean by an engaged form of teaching and learning is that people are actively participating and sharing ideas and thoughts that they have based off course material. They're hands-on in terms of self-reflection upon concepts, and most importantly, they're focused on getting past sexist, racist, or classist, or any other destructive hatreds to work together to enhance their knowledge. Feminist pedagogy aims to transform education and get rid of the dichotomy that is the student and teacher relationship, while replacing this with the idea that the classroom is a network of relationships of people who care equally about their own learning as well as others. This alternative pedagogy embraces the idea of everyone transferring and sharing knowledge instead of the traditional teachers teach and learners learn concept mentality that's so often embraced in the classroom today. To achieve this, the concepts of creating a community, empowering participants, and giving members leadership opportunities are central. Unfortunately, the makeup of the modern-day university doesn't allow for feminist pedagogy to be easily practiced, as students are forced to cram into desks and learn solely based off what is lectured at them. Luckily, however, for students, they are able to practice this more holistic form of learning through participation in extracurricular activities such as being in a club, society, or team. In the setting of a club, for example, members are exposed to feminist pedagogy threefold. Firstly, members are given the opportunity to grow and learn through leadership roles, such as being executives in their club. Secondly, in these self-governed settings, members are exposed to leadership opportunities and see immediately how important it is what they do. This is important as it empowers members to express and exchange opinions, deepening their knowledge on a subject, thus allowing them to be the great leaders that they can be. Finally, the community setting provided by an extracurricular activity cannot be found elsewhere in the university experience. The sense of community and togetherness truly allows for members to learn with and from each other. Being a part of an extracurricular activity such as a club or team is incredibly beneficial for students, as it allows for knowledge to be more rounded and allows for them to be better learners and better critical thinkers. Thank you for having me, BPPN.
Thank you, Jim. I'm sure the folks at home now have a little bit more clarity about what feminist pedagogy entails. It's really fantastic to see that being part of a club, team, or society really rounds out an education, making the best learners possible.
Now we'll take you to our final guest, Ali Shah, joining us all the way from Nairobi. An expert on professional development in a university setting, Ali will explain the importance of extracurricular activities for personal and professional development.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Now, I just want to discuss the importance of personal and professional development that extracurricular activities have to offer. So, extracurricular activities can be seen as a form of liberal education. Liberal education is actually an approach to learning that empowers individuals by helping students develop a sense of social responsibility, as well as strong and transferable skills, and a demonstrated ability to apply knowledge and skills in a real-world setting. Liberal education teaches people skills like analytical thinking and communication, working independently and in a team setting. It also teaches you civic roles and responsibilities, but most importantly, it teaches you how to apply all this knowledge and skills in a real-world problem-solving situation. The skills I just went over are practical skills that are applicable to all professions. Extracurricular activities allow students to practice these skills because they offer hands-on experience to demonstrate them. For example, one of the biggest challenges in the scientific community is the ability to communicate clearly and concisely. Being involved in a social club helps you develop these skills, improving one's ability to engage people through opportunities like managing social events, taking part in meetings, and participating in voting. By improving their communication skills, adults undergo a form of professional development which will be very beneficial in postgraduate life. And that's all from me tonight, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali, for explaining the concept of liberal education and how it's beneficial for personal development, especially when developing practical skills that are applicable to all professions.
And folks, that wraps up tonight's edition of BPPN. We hope you're able to learn about the importance of extracurricular activities and the skills you can develop to succeed in postgraduate life. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night.